Alright, Presage is back from Season of the Chosen, or Season 13. It is top right in the Legends tab. If you don't know where it is, that's where the exotic mission rotator is located. And this week's exotic mission is Presage. If you complete this mission, you're able to craft Dead Man's Tail, and you get Season 17 rewards, which I'm pretty sure Season 17 is Season of the Haunted. So like Callous Mini Tool, Drang, Beloved, guns like that. So, I know Destiny 2 has had a lot of new players since Season 13, when this mission was first released, so this video is going to serve as a refresher, and kind of like a walkthrough. So when you first load in, there's going to be a jumping puzzle on your left. Strand will make it a little bit easier because I know some people fall off, but you can just follow the path that I take. This exotic mission is very linear, so you're going through like tight corridors and like pressing forward, and sometimes even like doubling back into new open doors. We haven't had light level increase in a while, so you should be relatively powerful for this mission. So you can literally use any weapons you want, it really doesn't matter. So the mechanic for this exotic mission is egregore spores. It's these little glowing pile of rocks, and when you shoot them, you get egregore spores on you, and that's going to allow you to pass through these barriers that are layered throughout the ship. Another mechanic, if you want to call it that, is shooting vents. There's going to be a lot of shootable vents that you can break, and you can see what's behind it. And another shootable thing is going to be fuses, and they're going to be layered throughout the exotic mission. They could be on top of things, or they could be behind a vent, and shooting these fuses may unlock a door or a new area. A lot of this exotic mission is mainly exploration, so I'm going to have some chill music going on in the background, and I think I'm just gonna shut up for most of it. Of course, I'll explain the fuses and egregore spores when I get there, but if you're looking for a certain part, you can like speed up through the video and then find it. Of course, like if you're stuck on an area. This lever right here just opens the front door. Like if you're running in a fire team and someone doesn't want to do the platforming section, you can just open that door and then they can just walk straight in. Right here is the egregore mechanic. Like you see there's a shield, so you have to shoot the egregore spores to get it on you, and then you can walk through that shield. So when you first drop down, you're going to want to go directly behind you. And down this hallway, there's going to be some screams you're going to kill, and there's going to be a lever at the very end of the hallway that you're going to need to flip. Flipping this lever opens up a door that has egregore spores behind it, so you can get the egregore buff and pass through the shield that's across from you. This upcoming part is going to have a few screams, so be careful. Then you're going to want to jump up top where there's like a few more screams. Then you want to go across where you can destroy a fuse. Once you destroy that fuse, the door directly below you will open up. But be careful because there are more screams. Then you want to jump up top to your right and flip a switch. Once you flip that switch, it'll open up a door on the far left. Once you go through the door up top, you're going to want to jump across the gap and flip another switch that's on the other side. That will open a door below the door you just went through, which contains a fuse you have to destroy. I know you have to do like a little bit of backtracking. Once you destroy this fuse, go back to where you came from and go directly down. There's going to be a platform that flips for you as soon as you get close. And then go into the opening to your right to drop down into the trash compactor, the home of all Titans. So when you drop down, directly in front of you all the way at the end is another switch that starts the trash compactor and opens up the floors. When the floors open up, there's going to be a bunch of vents that you can shoot, and there's going to be a fuse underneath one of those vents. So you're going to have to look for which vent to shoot and destroy the fuse. There's 3 fuses you have to shoot to stop the trash compactor, but be careful because a ton of screams are going to spawn that try to kill you. So what I usually do is jump into the air and look for the glowing spot that's underneath the vent. Once you shoot all 3 fuses, there's going to be one vent that's open, and how you know which one it is, it has glowing lights on the top and bottom of the vent, as you can see when I shoot the last vent. Then when you drop down, go directly behind you to your right. Then when you drop down, you'll finally get to see the boss. You can only do a little bit damage to him, like to make him despawn, but then he sends a bunch of scorn your way. All you do is beat him and then move on to the next room that's in front of you. Once you beat him, it's the room straight in front of you. It's a straight shot, just keep on going until you hit the next big area. If you continue walking, then you will eventually reach this room. This is just another big room with a bunch of scorn. I'm gonna cut this part out too because it's basically just survive, defeat the enemies, and then go on to the next room. So once you're done killing that last enemy, you want to jump outside of the ship to the far top left. Once you get into this room, there's going to be an entryway top right of the room. So once you get to this room, there's going to be a switch immediately to your left that opens an egregore door. You're going to want to get that buff and run to the right of the room, and then a door will open up and you can pass through that egregore shield. Once you get into the next room, be careful because there's going to be a few screams coming after you. Once you kill those screams, there's going to be a switch directly in the middle of the room. When you hit this switch, it opens up a fuse that you can see on the left side. When you shoot this fuse, it temporarily knocks out the shield that you could see above you. You gotta be relatively quick because the shield is only down for a few seconds. Once you're up there, you have to hit 2 switches, one on the far right side and the other to the room to your left. But one of those switches open was an egregore door at the bottom of the room. You're going to want to get that egregore buff and continue pressing forward to the top left of the room, where the egregore shield is. In the next room, there's going to be a few Screebs, Captains, and some Dregs. You don't have to kill them, but I mean, we're trying to complete it, not speedrun it. Alright, so once you knocked everyone out, there's going to be another switch in the far back left of the room. It opens up a door below with a turret and a fuse. Once you destroy that fuse, it opens up an egregore door to your left. Once you get the egregore buff, run far top left and drop down. Once you drop down, you're going to want to shoot a couple panels that reveal another egregore buff. It's the 2 panels put together that have a slight glow behind it. Once you get this buff, you're going to want to follow the exact path that I take, which is forward and to the left. But be careful because there's 2 Screebs that are going to be coming at you. Remember, don't forget the egregore buff because you're going to need it at the end of this little maze. What I'd like to do is clear everything out and then go back and get the buff and then just run it clear. Once you get to the end, it's going to lead you to a switch. That switch is going to open up a door in front of you that leads to a room where you've already been. But as soon as you enter that room, the door to your left is finally going to be open, but it's blocked by an egregore shield. So go to the right and get the egregore buff, and then pass through the shield to your left, or directly behind you because you're standing where the egregore buff is. In the next room, there's a bunch of screebs and 2 ogres. Once you take them out, there's going to be a switch far back left of the room. Once you hit this switch, there's going to be a fuse directly to the right of you, and that opens up an egregore door in the back right of the room. Once you get this egregore buff, then you can progress forward and pass through the egregore shield. Now this part, you're gonna have to shoot a few fuses and do a little bit of jumping. Now there's like 3 enemies in here, nothing too big. There's a switch that you can flip at the end of the jumping part. I really don't know if it reveals the fuse because I always flip it on, so just flip it just in case. So as soon as you flip the switch, look behind you and destroy that turret before it like blows your back out. After that, you want to head back to where you came from. As you can see directly where I'm standing, you see the fuse. Once you destroy that fuse, it opens up an egregore door with the shield to the right. So to pass this, go back to the very beginning and get the egregore buff. That will allow you to extend your egregore timer so you can pass through the second shield. And finally, to the boss. If you're super fast, you can just go off 1 buff in the beginning and you can make it to the end. As you're seeing right now, I really didn't do a good job, but I still ended up making it with like 1 second to spare, I think. In the last room, there's a rally flag so you can get your super and your ammo, and an egregore buff so you can pass through the shield to the boss. The boss has a super easy mechanic. You take out like 15% of his health and then he teleports below. But you can't go below because the ovens are on down there. And if you do go down below, you'll cook. And plus, like, he's immune. So once he teleports below, he's gonna spawn enemies up top where you are. Wipe everyone out and it's gonna spawn 5 dregs. And those dregs are where the terminals are you need to activate. Because you need to activate 3. 1 far left, 1 far right, and 1 in the middle. Always do the 1 in the middle last because the ovens are on in there. And if you try to activate the terminal, you'll cook. The reason you're activating these terminals is it turns off the ovens down below. So it basically activates damage phase. So you can go down below and do damage to them. And that's basically the whole encounter. It's just rinse and repeat. So I'll let the first damage phase play out and then I'll skip to the end. Oh, but be careful because I think his last damage phase, he spawns a lot of enemies up top. I mean, that really doesn't matter because we're so powerful that we can just like one-shot them instantly. So now, once you hit all 3 terminals, you want to go directly below so you can do damage. Remember, he is health gated, so once you get him down to a certain point, the furnaces will turn back on and you'll start to burn, so you have to jump back up top. And that's 1 damage phase. Then the enemies will spawn back up top and then rinse and repeat. And that's the boss. Congratulations, you finally completed Presage and you can go get your newly crafted DMT, or Dead Man's Tail. And this part, it just tells you where to go, so I'll skip to the end. So here goes the unfortunate hunter that we're taking the gun from, and then boom, there goes DMT, Dead Man's Tail, with some Season of the Haunted weapons. I don't even have Beloved crafted yet, so this was great for me. But yeah, this was intended for like new players who don't know what Presage is, and if they needed a little bit of help getting through the mission. I have a new Warlock build coming out soon with the new gloves, and I can't wait. See you guys in the next one.